Oh. Why are you here? Are you from the future?
Yes. Lind Amphibia. I'm here with a warning from the future about how Hailey's On It will end. You see, I come from a future where Hailey's On It made it to its proper series finale.
Oh, what happened?
Well, today is the day when Season 1 of Hailey's On It returns. And I've come back to this day in the past to warn you that I come from a timeline with... I come from a particular future where Hailey's On It ended with... I come from a particular future where Hailey's On It ended with Hailey Banks becoming... In the final episode, Hailey Banks finally does eventually become San Diego County's Most Improved Young Person of the Year, and she gets that grant from the science money grant from the future president, Serena Williams.
Good, and that's everything else that's gonna happen.
Yes, but there's also major unintended consequences to the futures of other characters, because you see, while Hailey and Scott eventually did kiss, either at the end of Season 1 or at the beginning of Season 2, things didn't work out between them because Hailey Banks eventually decided that she was too successful and smart to have anything to do with Scott Denoga or his family anymore.
No.
After Scott and Becker's mother, Sunny Denoga, lost her buffet restaurant, the UFO, they devoted their lives to evil science because they were very upset with Hailey and upset with themselves about not being successful enough for Hailey to stay in touch with them.
No, they turned against her.
I'm afraid they did.
No, that couldn't happen. I don't believe it. That's terrible.
I couldn't believe it either, but I started to suspect it after the events of UFO. Remember that episode with Haileytonium? Hailey thought she was her own worst enemy, making the chaos spots because of the Haileytonium.
Oh yeah.
But it turns out that in the future, different people can use Haileytonium for good and for evil.
Oh no. How could this happen to Hailey?
I thought you were going to ask how could this happen to Scott.
Well, how could this happen to Scott? And therefore to Hailey. But yeah, Scott, he's such a sweet guy. And his parents are so nice. This is terrible. I did not expect him to turn evil, ever.
Neither did I.
No, it's like Star's friend Marco turning evil or something in Star vs. Force of Evil. I don't think that would ever happen. But I guess stranger things have happened. Oh no. What else can you tell me about the future?
Well, when Hailey became Young Person of the Year, at first she did, I'm sure she wanted to thank everybody who helped her complete all of her list items, which at first that did include the Denoga family, but as Hailey grew as a person and continued her research to reverse global warming, that's when Hailey eventually fell out of touch with the Denogas because she thought they were holding her back.
Oh no, this is like when actors get a swelled head and they're too big for their original friends. Exactly. Oh no, it's terrible. Ah. See, it's bad on both Scott and Hailey's account that they changed in those ways, right?
Right.
Because first Hailey changed, and then that made Scott change. It's just terrible all around. It's a cautionary tale about fame and success, I guess. Yikes.
And that's why I think the Denoga family, the Sunny, Scott, and Becker, are the mystery villains of the future who are sending chaos bots back in time to sabotage Hailey's list items, who want Hailey to complete her list of things that she's totally going to do.
To stop the future from happening. Right. Oh no, this is terrible. I hope the show doesn't get canceled, and we get to find out for real.
I do also. I mean, it doesn't happen in the future that I traveled.
I get to see that. I hope the show doesn't get canceled, so I get to see it play out. Yeah, and see whether you come from the same future, because future could branch. There could be more than one possible future, right?
Right. I'm not Amphibia. I'm Amphibia V.
Oh no. Wow. Okay, so you come from the V timeline.
No, I mean I'm the copy of Amphibia.
You're the fifth. You're the fifth. You're the fifth generation. The fifth descendant. Or the fourth descendant of the original. Yeah. What? Wow. Yikes. Oh dear.
And I know what you're thinking, and what all of you subscribers who watch Hailey's On It are thinking. Sure, anyone could suspect that Becker would grow up to create these chaos bots because Becker likes smashing things and causing chaos. But why would her brother Scott and her mother Sunny also turn to the dark side and do evil chaos things?
Why? Yeah, why? This is terrible. Not Scott. Not sweet Scott.
Well, the answer is
Worst enemy, the former best friend. Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, the answer is simpler than you think. In the future, Scott and Becker became the evil bananas who want to sabotage Hailey's list. Because Scott and Becker have grown to hate the stupid kids they once were.
Oh.
And their mom, Sunny, also stopped being Sunny once she grew to regret the stupid kids that she raised.
Oh, no. No, say it isn't so. This is terrible.
Yeah, and I think this is, and if my prediction comes true about Scott being Hailey's mystery future enemy, then it would also make more sense why Beta is drawn to dislike Scott and saw his cosmic a buffoon.
Ooh.
In fact, I actually think that in the future, I think that Beta was made to counteract Alpha, and Alpha is, and in the future where Sunny, Scott, and Becker have become evil masterminds, Alpha is their evil robot helper that Beta was made to counteract when he guides Hailey with her list items.
Wow. Okay, gosh.
I mean, maybe Alpha wasn't evil at first, but then Sunny, Scott, and Becker started using her or him for evil.
Yep.
And since Ali Cravalho played Janice Amike in the 2024 Mean Girls film, I think Lizzie Kaplan should get to play Alpha in the series finale of Hailey's On It. And since the Chaos Bots never helped the evil genius, the Denogas, stop Hailey from completing her list, and all of those attempts were unsuccessful, that's why they got us to send their main robot Alpha back in time to terminate Hailey. And even if Alpha also terminates Scott and Becker in the process, like so many of the other Chaos Bots have attempted to do, it'll be all worth it for the future Scott and Becker to erase it. They wouldn't mind erasing. They think Scott and Becker, evil future Scott and Becker, think it's worth it to erase their own existence as long as they can be rid of the stupid kids they once were in the past who were too stupid for Hailey, and who were too stupid and reckless for Hailey to keep in touch with them.
That is harsh. So eliminate all three, and then that future never happens. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen this happen before with like the 7th and 8th episodes of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
I haven't seen that yet, but okay.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off showed me that sometimes it can make for some very interesting and intriguing personal character drama to do battle with your future self or your boyfriend's future self when older Scott Pilgrim becomes his own worst enemy.
Wow. Oh no. Oh dear.
It's a lot more likely than you think that this may very well happen again with another Scott boyfriend, Scott Denoga and Hailey Zonnet. Only this time, instead of Scott Pilgrim takes off, or Scott Pilgrim versus the world, or the world versus Scott Pilgrim, this time, or to Scott to Pilgrim, this time, if it happens to Hailey Zonnet, it would be a big event like Scott Denoga versus the world.
Right. Wow.
Scott Denoga takes off. To Denoga, the world versus Scott Denoga.
Wow.
Do you think there's any possible way out of this that Hailey Banks can change the future to start up to create a better life for the Denoga family that she once abandoned or will have abandoned?
Yeah, if she can warn herself to not abandon them somehow, maybe.
Right. Maybe if Hailey. I mean, I've already seen several Hailey Zonnet episodes where about Hailey, where like the conflict was about Hailey Banks being selfish and not considering things that Scott Denoga likes to do, like in the Cubics dudes and Cubics dudes and Sight for Dinosaur Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And we wish you Merry Chaosmas.
Mm-hmm. And what about some consciousness raising, as they used to call it? You know, it's very sexist to think that, oh, the guy has to be more successful than the girl, you know, in a couple, right? Why can't she be the more successful one? You know? Why does Scott have to attain any particular level of successness to be with her? You know?
I see your point.
Yeah, so if she didn't see things in a sexist way, then maybe she wouldn't feel like, oh, I've outgrown you, goodbye, you know? She wouldn't feel the need to dump him. If the issue is that she becomes more successful than him, then that doesn't need to be a reason to break up. The fact that it is tells you something about what happened to her character and her perspective along the way, since they're perfectly fine being friends before, right?
Right.
And he didn't stand in her way to whatever she's trying to achieve, right?
Yeah.
He was supportive of whatever she wanted to achieve, so why couldn't that continue as grown-ups? You know? So, yeah, I don't know if anything can be done about that, but that's a possibility for an alternate future. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, well, well, maybe after Alpha chastises Hailey for what she's going to do in the future, that Alpha could accidentally solve the problem. Alpha's warning that Hailey could accidentally solve the problem when Hailey learns not to take her next door neighbor family, the Denogas, for granted.
Maybe.
And she learns how Hailey learns how wrong she is for leaving and forgetting about the Denogas when they weren't destined to be as successful as she was.
Maybe.
And once Hailey finds a good way to make things up with that Scott Becker and Sonny to make sure their futures don't turn out as bad as they did, that will cause all the chaos spots to disappear and turn Alpha into a good guy or good gal.
Cool.
You know, make the Alpha robot not evil anymore, so that that then Alpha and Beta can get along at last.
If the future changes, will you come back and tell me?
I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's my prediction for. So this is where I came from. This is what I've seen of. This is my warning to you subscribers about Hailey Zonnet's tragic future twist and what Hailey Banks herself can do to stop this tragic future from happening to the Denogas, so they don't try to ruin her list with chaos bots.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I hope that doesn't come that way. Thank you. Thank you for warning.
Well, I'd be excited if it did come to pass, because that's what causes the conflict that Hailey Banks needs to solve.
Right.
To to learn the ultimate lesson about why she should care about what Becca and Scott and their mom Sunny want to do, even if it's not on the list, even when it's not on the list of things they need to do to save the world.
Right.
Well, Linda Amphibia, my work here is done. I'm sure you can tell your son, the first at Amphibia, all about the melancholic news that I shared with you about how Hailey's Sonnet will end. I know you're probably expecting me to tell you some grand, insightful truths about the solar system, but you didn't know that. I just did. I just told you about amazing, strange, fascinating things that will happen in the future of our solar system.
Yes. I guess so. Yeah.
And if my guess for Hailey's Sonnet series finale is correct, then I think that remember when Christine dumped Scott in UFO? Hailey Banks dumping Scott will be like that times 10.
Wow. Times 10, yikes. Oh,
because Scott Pilgrim Takes Off had an interesting finale with Rowan and Scott having to battle Scott's evil future self. I'd like to see how Hailey Sonnet can also do that with Scott and Hailey battling this other Scott character's evil future self.
Okay, we'll see.
The me who left him and the me who just met him, we're the same. It's all beautiful.
Beautiful.
Wait, you, Bailey, birdhouses? Hey, Thatch, let's raid the snack table. It's on this list of things I've always wanted to do.
So, is there anything you want to say to our audience?
Like and subscribe.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the future. And I'll say to you what I think Scott and Hailey should have said to Omega at the end of UFO. It's a very funny line, one that Scott's voice actor might remember from another actor saying it in the Good Place. Good Bob. I hope we same place again. Very 50 years from now. Toodles. Goodbye.
Wow.